Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some casual Cyberverse, except that since it's the week before Botcon, or it's the week leading into Botcon, it's time for some casual, upscaled Cyberverse. Coming to you all the way from the UK, because that's the only place I think that they came out at mass retail, maybe somewhere else, certainly not North America. This is the maligned, the feared upscaled deluxe Cyberverse, whatever, Beast Hunter's Bumblebee, and here he is next to his little brother. You see, they look a whole lot alike. Upscaled's a bit of a misnomer, though, because this is not just this toy bigger. The skeleton's there, but a lot of the joints are different, and a few things here and there are slightly different. The big one being this sword. This sword replaces this little dinky crossbow. This sword is new tooling, and it's kind of cool. And darn, I wish this guy came with two of them, because I actually went searching through the packaging for a little while, thinking that this guy was supposed to come with two, because they look like, you know, they mount on the side, and he'd look pretty badass with two swords. Well, he wouldn't, but someone else would look pretty badass with two swords. Is this guy much bigger than a regular deluxe, though? No. He's a little bit bigger, just a tad, just a touch bigger, but not really. I mean, here, I'll even strip the weapons off. I'll make this fair. Get off of there. He's a bit longer, but just feels around about the same. The big thing about these is these were the experiment to try out simpler transformers at larger price points, like the deluxe price point. So this guy, ostensibly, is supposed to transform fairly simply. He also has no rear windows. Does he transform simply? Well, he transforms more or less like his little Cyberverse bro. And everything tabs in a lot more on this guy. Everything uses bigger joints, and I actually found this dude is harder to start transforming than the other deluxe, because everything locks together in the center of the roof, and I'm like, I don't really know if I'm supposed to tug on all this. But you are. And down here you can see how the wheels are doing that thing that the Cyberverse toy does. It's all bigger, and there are less ball joints involved. A lot less ball joints. I think there are no ball joints involved in this dude, because he's done. And, you know, it's the Cyberverse Bumblebee toy. I think the Cyberverse one is perhaps a tad easier to transform, because it resists less, but it is pretty much that toy. As I understand it, the process may have been in on the CAD level. These were upscaled, and then more details were added, so they wouldn't just be this little dude blown up. And you can see that, like, the details are the same, but the crispness of the sculpt on the big one is a lot better than if this thing was just blown up. It would be a lot softer, a lot mushier, and what I gotta give to them, and this is the worst of the four, spoilers, this is what debuted the idea at Botcon, which only made it look even more terrible. The sculpting on this dude is crisp. There's detailing everywhere. He doesn't have softness. He doesn't have a bloated, like, I'm too big to be this big kind of look. It's solid, and he can hold a sword and, you know, cut fools with it. I guess maybe back. I don't actually know which side of this sword is the blade. Let's assume that side's the blade. Everything's 5mm up, and, you know, it's not a toy you should go out of your way to get, especially considering the trouble you may have to go through to get this, until these start showing up at, like, your Walgreens and your Winners and other liquidation places. You gotta go through, like, British prices to get them, and then shipping and all that, and that could suck. And if you're in the UK, this is not worth your money whatsoever. This guy is just part of an experiment of four. Also, his face is legitimately terrifying. The thing about the Bumblebee in particular, though, is I don't think he's all that much easier to transform than this one. Like, I'll give it a go, just real quick, but I think this one is a little bit easier to transform, to be quite honest. Because this one has that big automorph thing, and then, like, everything here just sort of does that, and now he's done. I think that that this was easier to transform than that one. But, you know, I'll hear out your arguments otherwise. Maybe, you know, check the time on this thing. Size-wise, this one is a tad bigger. But this Bumblebee is by no means a champion for this little approach that was going on. This is by no means the one to hold up as the example of how this turned out, because he is by far summarily the worst of the four. Don't get him. If you got to get a Beast Hunter's Bumblebee, get this one, because this one's badass, man. Anyway, this has been Internet Personality Vangelus, and I forgot to show you the posability. Faux ball joints at the hips and shoulders. That is it. And what I mean by faux ball joints, if you take a look, these are all pin joints. So, they're all pin discs. I'm not sure if I would have preferred seeing big, robust, palmed ball joints, POM plastic ball joints, because nowadays those are a lot better than they were back in the days of, like, car robots and RID, when stuff would get loose real fast. I don't know. I mean, this guy's built for it. He can take a pounding. I could probably bring him all the way up here and just... yeah. He doesn't mind. So, I would say if you got kids, you can get this Bumblebee, except that you have to go out of your way to, and there are better ones to get, which are this big. That is the upscaled Beast Hunters Deluxe Bumblebee, upscaled for lack of better terminology at this time, and he's going to open up our coverage of these guys by getting the most horrible part out of the way. Things will get better, and this has been Internet Personality Vangelus, and I really want to get to the other ones, so